JTMM.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes. Back with another reaction video. This time, I've got one that's a little bit more serious. Um, I've heard the song a little bit. I haven't truly analyzed the lyrics. I know the gist of the song. And it's a topic that needs to be talked about that's not talked about enough. Um, the artist is Crypt. If you don't know Crypt, Crypt is an artist and a reactor. He sat on this side as well as the other side. He's very fair. His videos are great. He seems like a very genuine human. And so I saw a tweet recently. He welcomed this because he's been on this side. And because I love watching him and reacting to some of the same music that I enjoy as well, I thought it only fair that I take this opportunity as a thanks to him and help break this down, but also get his message out because this song deals, as I said, with a very, very touchy subject. I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to let the experience go through itself. There's going to be points that I stop. Let's get through it. I'm not going to go through everything. I'll go through it at the end. So with that being said, let's switch it up. All right, guys. I'll have the link in the description to the original video so you can watch it in whole. And please go give Crypt some love. He's just a great dude, great artist. Let's go.
2:30 in the morning and I get a text from my friend. She said I need you right now and I already knew what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know she's thinking about her life and how it's gonna end. See, on the outside we're happy and we show it to the world, and we put on this fake exterior so the truth won't unfurl. But I know who she is, cause it's like looking in a mirror. All these smiles and cries for help and it couldn't be any clearer. So I pick up the phone and call her as she answers through her cries. She's hyperventilating, telling me that she wants to die. My heart starts to race and my thoughts begin to blur. We're 9 hours apart, but I'm seconds from losing her. I tried.
And I'm gonna stop right there because Crypt's flow is just, and his cadence on this is just so straightforward, right? Because it's an important message, and so I don't want to, let it go all the way through. That wouldn't be fair to him to just play the video outright. But listen to these words, right? How many calls and how many times do we as friends, right, have a friend or even ourselves feel like this? 2:30 in the morning and I get a text from a friend, I need you right now. And when that friend texts you, because you've talked to them, you know the stuff that they're going through. You already know what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know what she's thinking about how her life and it's going to end. See, on the outside we're happy and we show it to the world and we put on this fake exterior so the truth won't unfurl. But I know who she is because it's like looking in a mirror. All these smiles and cries for help, and it couldn't be any clearer. In today's society, we always hear after the fact of, well, there were signs, but I didn't think they would do that. Or if only I would have. And I don't say that if you've been in this situation to put anybody on a guilt trip, right? Because at the end of the day, we never truly know if that person's going to or not. And as he says, he picks up the phone and calls her, and as she answers through her cries, she's hyperventilating. Tell me that she wants to die. I've had friends like that. Um, I was able to kind of deflate the situation, get him calmed down, and help talk it through it. But so many people don't, right? And they're not able to, and just that person wants to do what they want to do. And you just have to know that sometimes you're doing your best, right? But let's let Crypt continue. Crypt, if you ever watch this, this is a masterpiece, bro.
Race and my thoughts begin to blur. We're 9 hours apart, but I'm seconds from losing her. I try to calm her down and tell her what she means to me. Even though we're new friends, she's seen a side that no one sees. Told her, listen to my breaths. I'm right here, please breathe. You got so much left to do. Stay here, don't leave. The cries got even louder as the breaths got short. I told her, listen to my words as I fell down to the floor. Stay with me, I'm here, let it out, it's okay. Just cry till you can't cry, no more tears down your face. A couple minutes went by and the crying finally stopped. But not because she did, because the phone call dropped. I called her back quick, just hoping I'd hear hello. But I just kept getting met with the sounds of those dial tones. I froze. What do you do in that moment?
What do you do in that moment? I mean, think about that, right? You've had this conversation, and as Crypt says, I tried to calm her down and tell her what she means to me. Even though we're new friends, she's seen a sign that no one sees. Told her, listen to my breaths, I'm right here, please breathe. You've got so much left to do. Stay here, don't leave. The cries got even louder as the breaths got short. I told her, listen to my words as I fell down to the floor. Stay with me. I'm here. Let it out. It's okay. Just cry till you can't cry. No more tears down your face. Right? Let it out. Right? Get the person to let all those emotions out. It's a tough song. All right, I gotta rewind it. Let's go through this.
And met with the sounds of those dial tones. I froze. What do you do in that moment? Do you call the police, or do you hope that she's over it? Get a hold of her parents and tell them the situation, just so they can pull her from college and end her aspirations. Leave it alone and hope it was just an escapade. Pray from a text from her in the morning saying that she's okay. Call anyone you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived.
Think about that. Do you call the police, right? Or do you just hope that she gets over it? If you can't reach them, what do you do? Get a hold of her parents and tell them the situation, just so they can pull her from college and end her aspirations. Do you leave it alone and hope it was just an escapade? Pray for a text from her in the morning that says she's okay. Call anyone you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived. This is probably one of the realest songs I've heard. There's quite a few. My background growing up was I was very into the 80s rock early on, and that morphed into kind of the old school gangster rap, the originals with Ghetto Boys out of the Fifth Ward in Houston, Scarface, then getting into NWA, even 2 Live Crew, Slick Rick, Too Short. I mean, I could go on and on. I grew up listening to that. Did I ever identify with a lot of those? No. Okay. I was typical white boy growing up. But that's what I gravitated to. And so when I see an artist be able to take situations like this and turn it into such a deep meaning song, damn. Like I said, Crypt, if you ever happen to just stumble across this, yeah, there may be tears on this one, bud. Let me back it up. I don't want to disrespect it.
One you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived. I let it go. She must have wanted to be alone. I guess that this was just another one of her episodes. She never told no one about this depression she dealt with, and who was I to air out her secrets? That would be selfish. So I lay down in my bed and I rested my head, closed my eyes and drifted peacefully to sleep. Then I dreamt that I would see her tomorrow and I would speak to her then, till I was woken to several missed calls and texts that she's dead. My heart broke. She downed a bottle of pills. She took them shortly after our call ended, and it felt surreal. She was a friend of many, a student athlete at her school, a daughter, a sister, a very special jewel. At the funeral, they told us that nobody had a clue that they could have saved her life, if only that they knew. And if someone at the funeral had ever felt depressed, to get some help so that your face won't ever end up in the press. There wasn't a dry face in the room, only 22 years old, an entire life in front of her, and now she's laying there cold. If only I'd called someone, we wouldn't be here now, and nobody would be sad, and I wouldn't feel like I let her down.
You know, this is a rough topic. You know, what do you do in that situation, right? You've got somebody that's truly at the end, right? And you're empowered to do what is right. You know, there's a lot of things that happen, especially, you know, as he said, that phone call dropped, and really those questions gonna, what do you do? You know, do you call her parents? Do you, you know, if it's another episode, they're gonna sit there and pull her from college, and I mean, things like that when they happen, and this has happened to me personally with a family member. It never got to this extreme, but it almost did. And I think about the actions that I took. And maybe one day I'll share that story. But he woke up and had several missed calls and texts that she didn't make it, right? 22 years old and had her life in front of her. I mean, what do you do, right? At the funeral, they told us that nobody had a clue, that they could have saved her life if they only knew. And if and someone at the funeral had ever felt depressed, to get some help so your face won't ever end up in the press. There wasn't a dry face in the room, only 22 years old, an entire life in front of her, and now she's laying there cold. If only I'd called someone, we wouldn't be here now, and nobody would be sad. I feel like I wouldn't have let her down. Let's finish this, guys. Beautiful, beautiful frickin' song. What do you do? Let's let Crypt finish this and tell us what we do.
Called someone, we wouldn't be here now, and nobody would be sad, and I wouldn't feel like I let her down. But that's not what happened, cause instead of going to bed, I called every person I knew to check to make sure you weren't dead. I stayed up 7 hours praying every second of it, just hoping to get a text saying that you weren't heaven sent, but then I got it. You told me that I had no right, and blocked me on everything, and we ain't talked since that night. Was I a bad friend? Options? I had none. I guess I'd rather be a bad friend than a sad one.
Ooh. Hold back the tears. Okay. Oh. Damn you, Crypt. You know, too many times we hear only the words if I, or if someone, right? If you're feeling like she did, reach out to somebody. You know, it's I've been there more times than I'd like to admit. And there were times even when I was younger in life that this came up and I felt this way. And for whatever reason, you know, I turned my head and I said, no, I can't. I can do it. And I battled through, and I've gone to therapy over the years and down paths and dealt with things. And I've had people that have been on the other side, and I've reached out and I've talked to them, and they've come back the next day and just said thank you for listening. Total strangers, and now I consider them friends. In that situation, you're empowered. Don't ever feel like you can't do something, right? Whether it's calling the local police if you're not in town, going over there, whatever it is, involving parents. That person needs to know more than anything that people are there to help. And it could be that it's a false alarm. They may get mad. But I gotta... Listen to this, guys.
In front of her, and now she's laying there cold. If only I'd called someone, we wouldn't be here now. And nobody would be sad, and I wouldn't feel like I let her down. But that's not what happened, cause instead of going to bed, I called every person I knew to check to make sure you weren't dead. I stayed up 7 hours praying every second of it, just hoping to get a text saying that you weren't heaven sent, but then I got it. You told me that I had no right, and blocked me on everything, and we ain't talked since that night. Was I a bad friend? Options? I had none. I guess I'd rather be a bad friend than a sad one.
God damn, Crypt. Whoa, Crypt. This is going to be one of my longer videos, but it's worth it for a 3-minute song, and I'm right at the 17-minute mark. But it's a topic that has to be discussed. And I hope that anybody that's one of my subscribers, my apologies for most of you know I'm up until 1 o'clock most mornings doing this, but I hope that whether it's one of my subs or one of Crypt's subs or your friends, if you're ever put in this situation, know that you're empowered to do what's right. The consequences may be something that you didn't think about, being you may lose a friend, but you're losing them for the right reasons for them. And you know in your heart that you did what was right. And if anybody that watches this video ever just needs a stranger to bounce something off of and talk to, my Twitter, my Twitch, right there. Reach out. No judgment, no anything. And let's talk. Don't ever hesitate, because we all need a friend sometimes. So, if you like the video, please drop me a like, subscribe, and share. Please go visit Crypt. Show the guy some love. He's independent. Go watch his reactions. Normally, I don't pump up other reactors, but he's funny. He gets it. He doesn't listen to the same music that a lot of us listen to. But he's just a good dude. And I have great respect for him for kind of wearing his heart on his sleeve on this one. So, again, like, subscribe, share. I'll be back with more videos, but this is one I had to get out there. Until next time, guys. Somebody asks you to stop what you're doing. Don't ask for 1. Don't ask for 2. Don't ask for 5. If someone asks you to stop what you're doing, just ask for 10 more minutes. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for your support. And I'm out of here.
JTMM.